Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got a film review for you today. It is Christopher Nolan's brand new movie, Tenet. Um, the... What are you doing? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got a brand new film for you today. It's Christopher Nolan's Tenet, the biggest film release since the lockdown. It's kind of the first real major film that we've had out for several months now. How do I explain this film without kind of going into too many spoilers about it? The vaguest way I can kind of explain the plot of the film is it's a sort of spy espionage film. Put me off. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got another film review for you today. It is Christopher Nolan's brand new movie, Tenet. It's like a spy espionage type film that involves manipulation of time. That's about as vague as I could get to it without giving anything away, because the trailers don't really give a lot away in this, so I don't want to do that either. So I'm going to keep this very spoiler free. This film is really one to wrap your head around. There is so much to think about, to a point where it kind of gets distracting. But I'll kind of do the positives first, and I'll move on to the negatives afterwards. On the positive point of view, visually this film has some amazing set pieces in it. Just how they use the sort of how different timelines work. And when I say time travel, it's not like they're not going back to like the 1950s and stuff like that. It's kind of moving within the same time as other stuff's happening. It's very hard to try and explain what exactly is going on. But there's a moment, there's a fight scene in a corridor where one character is moving forward, linear through our time, and the other person is moving back through time at the same time. So one guy's fighting forwards, the other guy's fighting backwards. And it's a very visually a stunning thing to watch, as well as there's a kind of a big set piece towards the end when there's kind of sort of an army going one way and another army going that way. There's a point where a building explodes and unexplodes at the same time. So that sort of visual stuff is amazing. It's really good. A couple of the actors as well. Robert Pattinson is in this, and I thought his character was really well done. He was really good in the film. He had that sort of charm about him, but yet had that sort of mysterious look about him, which I really liked. Kenneth Branagh as well plays the villain in this film, and he's kind of the most sort of charismatic. He puts on like a really stereotypical thick Russian accent, and he kind of like chews up a bit soon, but when he's in it, he is quite good. I did enjoy Kenneth Branagh's role, as well as our main actor, Jason David Washington, I believe his name is. He does a good job in the film, but I'll get onto some of the things I didn't like about his character in a second. But yeah, just with some of the time stuff, visually, a lot of it looks stunning, with the fact that the bullet goes back into the gun, and apparently a lot of this was done in camera as well. It wasn't all just special effects, it was all shot and then shot again, but in reverse. So visually, from a point of view, this film is amazing. That being said, what let me down really with the film was the editing was all over the show. You can clearly tell this film was probably supposed to be a lot longer, with a lot more explanation of what was actually going on, and it was really chopped. There's a few really noticeable quick edits in this where you've kind of come in maybe halfway through a conversation, or the conversation's cut off before it is finished. So I think this was chopped, because this is still like 2.5 hours long, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was maybe 3.5 hours long, because there's a lot been taken out of this. It'll be interesting to see if we get a director's cut, see if that kind of goes into more depth of what's going on. And with that pace, sometimes you find yourself trying to catch up, because with films like Inception, for example, they do throw a lot of weird, interesting concepts at you, but there are moments where the film slows down, so not only the characters can kind of explain what's going on in a very sort of exposition kind of way, your brain can kind of takes a moment, the film slows down, you can kind of catch up to kind of what's going on at this point, and then the film moves on to its next big set piece. This just goes from set piece to set piece to set piece, and it doesn't really have that moment where it slows down and you can kind of catch up in your head what's going on. A lot of times I was in this film just watching what was going on, having no real clue why what's happening is happening. So that was really kind of disappointing for me, as well as so many actors. Like I said, Robert Pattinson is good in it. Kenneth Branagh is good. And then Jason David Washington, the character is called the protagonist. He doesn't even have a real name in the film. Like, we never find out what his name is. He's just called the protagonist. And again, he doesn't. You never really get a reason why he's doing what he's doing. Like, I don't really want to go into kind of what they do in the film because it's a little bit of a spoiler because it's not really revealed in the trailer. But his motivations, like, he doesn't. It's not like Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Inception, for example, another Christopher Nolan film, or Matthew McConaughey's character in Interstellar. We know why they're doing what they're doing because their motivations are really, really clear. In this, it's there, but it's not really defined. It kind of just, and he just happens to get thrown into it. Like, there's no backstory, there's no reason why he's set up to do this. It just happens to him, and it just goes. And a lot of the other actors around it, they feel kind of wooden and a bit stiff. Like, I don't get that sort of team like Inception. I know I keep comparing to Inception, but it's my favourite Christopher Nolan film, so I'm going to do that. The team around that were really interesting. Not just Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who was obviously the main lead. That's who character we get fleshed out the most of. But Tom Hardy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, Ellen Page's. They're really enjoyable. And even scenes where Leo's not in it, it's really enjoyable because you like the team and they're fun to be around and you want to know more about them. This one, not really. Like, everyone's just kind of just there and they do their job. So apart from sort of the visual aspects of the film, which I did enjoy, again, there's a car chase scene as well, which is really cool because some cars are going backwards and forwards. It's really cool. But outside of that, it's not quite what I was hoping for from a Chris Nolan film. All his other films I've generally really liked or loved, and he's really good filmmaker, he's a really good storyteller, and very interesting concept that he uses. But in this, I think he kind of pushed it out too far. I think he kind of went a bit above and beyond, and I think maybe someone, either he or the studio, stepped in. He needs to reduce the length of the film, and then the editing really chops this film up, and it really doesn't help it because it's just so sort of weird, and you don't have time to kind of work out. Even after seeing the film, I'm still kind of racking my brain of how does the whole time inversion, because they call it inversion, really work. I honestly couldn't explain it to you. So I would probably say that if you are really into Christopher Nolan and you really want to go to this one and you can find a safe cinema that will let you do that, go see it. But if you're not really into Chris Nolan's films, and it's not a film I would say you really need to risk going to see in these times. I would say wait till you get it on some sort of streaming service and watch it in the sort of comfort of your own home, where you can kind of maybe pause it and think about what's going on and then carry it on again. And hopefully we get a director's cut that kind of explains more, take some of the stuff that was left out of the film, because clearly this was edited down just to kind of maybe shorten the runtime a little bit. So overall, it was a little bit disappointing for me, if I'm honest, but we can't all have winners. But it was nice to go back to the cinema. The cinema I went to, which is the View in Far Rock Lakeside, was pretty safe. There was a few people not wearing their masks, but they were set far enough for me, so it didn't really bother me, so it was fine. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.